All right, let's dive into Historic here, which is Magic's non-rotating format on Magic Arena. Today's going to be all Historic. We're diving in with Esper Angel. So Esper is the color combination of white, black, and blue. This deck is base white here. You can see a lot of double white cards on our lower end of our curve. And then we've got a small blue splash for some Teferis and some counter spells and Unmoored Ego out of the sideboard. And then a black splash for Seraph, Mortify, and some Sorin Vengeful Bloodlords. So let's go ahead and dive on into a set with this one and see how a more mid-range deck can hold up in what's going on in Historic right now. The Grixis deck could easily be titled Grixis Sadness. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to just shove some Trawler in at the top end. I don't know. Perhaps. I guess Trawler has synergy with the 3-drop Angel. Could see that being good. Resplendent Angel. Yeah, that's the one. So I think for next week, so this week I did 3 all standard days, and then today's an all historic day. I think next week, for next week, I'm going to split it up a little bit and do Pioneer, Historic, and then Standard each day. So we'll do 3 formats each day. I think that might be better for the YouTube video watch count too. So that way people who are only interested in specific formats have the content they're looking for spread out a little bit more. Interested to see how that goes. It'll be. We'll probably try it both different ways a couple of times. There'll probably be something I'll ask about on the sub-survey in March. Oh, Rivera, if you had updates to the list with the most recent set, you should always update the list in the queue. As always, as your deck's waiting to be played, if other things get added that you want to try, so long as you don't change the archetype, those are always welcome additions and changes. So I did add Banishing Light to the list. I made a couple of small changes. This is a part where they cast Cleave and then I just die, right? Wow, no Cleave. Okay. Baby steps. Yeah, I think splitting it up will probably be good. We'll see. We could try it both ways. This gains me 4. And then if they don't have Cleave, we might actually be able to stabilize here. Because this gains us 4 when these come into play, and Lyra's going to have lifelink next turn. Standard has a lot to like at the moment. I agree. I think I trade here and then block here. I take 4, 8 down to 10. And this will make 3 1/1s because of Bishop. Yes, the Tri-Land also casts equipments. That is correct. One little thing here that I'm not sure a lot of people notice about Arena. When you look at your lands that you can play, you'll note that lands that come into play untapped have a blue border around them, and lands that come into play tapped have a yellow border. So you can always very easily, at a glance, identify which land is untapped when you're looking to play a land out. Bump Esper mid-range sounds good, blue deck. It's one of those, there are a lot of things about Arena that are incomplete or worth complaining about, but it really gets so many of the little details just done completely right. In my opinion, most of the issues with this application are simply related to the fact that it's a product that hasn't had enough resources allocated to have enough functions completed. Like, if this application was complete it would be very, very good. But it's just missing a lot of little things. The feature list is sorely lacking in a number of ways. Yeah, that's a good example, a good clean comparison of one of the many ways Arena is better than Magic Online. Regisaur with one card in my hand, it made me click on my one card to discard it. I agree, Hero. The Skybox collaboration is Wizards stepping outside of their in-house development and saying, we can't do this on our own, we need some help. It's a good admission. It's what you like to see. So now this gains 5 and triggers Resplendent Angel, which makes a 5/5, which gains us 4. Okay, Resplendent Angel here might be the rip we needed to not die to this history. If they have a cleave, we're gonna die still probably, but we're in an okay spot otherwise. That's pretty good. That's really good. I'm playing Dredge and Pioneer is pretty sweet. I agree. Hey, Jazlet. Alright, well, if they attack with everything, my 5/5 here gets to hop in front of this, which is not bad, and take a Lord out. Thanks for the biddies, Jazlet. Happy Thursday to you. This is a very big board state. The bits do give you shillings once per month. I like how they're like sitting here taking and their conclusion is just going to be attack with everything. Morning, Royal. The other day, I found a bug in Arena where I sacked Kroxa to oven and got 2 food, and I was shocked when I realized I sacked a Kroxa to oven and got 2 food. That's how it's supposed to work. Read oven, Steamy. You should read oven. That's not a bug. Reading the card explains the card. Zach Braggery, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. All right, so you think I'm just jumping some of these bigger ones? Take a tradesies there. Sounds good. This triggers on the beginning of each end step, right? The beginning of each end step. Yeah, so I get another 5/5 here. So that attack gained me life. I get to make some tokens, get to gain some more life. I feel like we came out ahead there. The jury's still out, but I feel like there's a possibility that that combat step worked out okay for us. Yeah, I like it, Beansy. It's got the gameplay for as far as grindy games go. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of playing Pokemon as a kid. Of like adult level of complexity. Oh, this is Vigilant. Yeah, thank you. I was reading and clicking and trying to decide what I was attacking with there. This is Vigilant that was a free attack. That is correct. I could be at 49. Could be at 49. The Raid Shadow Legends mobile game that you've probably seen plastered over everywhere. The actual only bad thing I have to say about it is that the pop-up ads when you log into the game client are annoying. But other than closing those out, I like the game a lot. After I'm done streaming today, I'm gonna put a channel up in the subs Discord for it and post a link to the Hoaglandia clan that I created. I assume they're still just dead here, right? Like, I get to put these over here. I get to chump here. This blocks here. This blocks here. This chumps an 8/7. Jeff likes mobile games. Am I the boomer now? I mean, like, to be fair, with what our cell phones are today, mobile games today are, like, very comparable to games I played on the computer forever ago. I was gonna scry. It doesn't actually matter. Like, they were super dead, right? Settle sounds good. Extra Baffling End sounds good. Maybe Banishing Light's fine. I like Little Teferi because he's decent against History of Benalia. This is probably not a Teferi matchup. Resplendent Angel definitely punched the clock and went to work there. Is Seal Away better than Mortify here? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I could see that. Banishing, maybe, I think I'd rather have Mortify than Banishing Light. Yikes. I think we just keep this, try and take a controlling role. We're still missing a color. Settle. Both Settle and Baffle are really good here. You can play Fortnite and PUBG on your phone. What can't be a mobile game besides MTGA? Yeah, games that have big interfaces are tough mobile games. I guess I just play this, huh? Just like a 1/4 in front of their 2/1. Just hold Baffling in for something more threatening. I think we just Tithe Taker for now. I think we're planning to beat this history via Settle the Wreckage here. Yeah, Bishop of Wings like dragged us kicking and screaming across the finish line. To be fair, I think this type of matchup is pretty ideal for us. Like they're a small aggro deck. Hey chat, you think this Settle the Wreckage is gonna be good? I don't think they posted a link to the collaboration. So much as there's just a thing on Twitter. Red Rover, let the knights come on over. Sorry I killed your village. Have some land. That is correct. Mod swords if you have to stop your sub for whatever reason, and yeah. You still get to keep the mod sword to stay in chat. You have a Prime sub though. Prime gives you a free Twitch sub every month though, as a heads up. That's a big hexproof monster, huh? My curve starting at 3 is not particularly great here. I guess I can go ahead and play Resplendent Angel and get some blocking down. That's probably not raceable. Settle is the most, it's definitely the most tilting sweeper, right? So this card a pump spell then? Is that the play? I have no idea what this attack was. Okay, so... I think I'm just supposed to play this turn. And then we trade here, get some chump blockers for this. And then we hope to draw a land. If we draw running lands, we might be okay here. Because a land next turn lets us Banishing Light the Ferox. And then a land the following turn lets us activate this and start lifelinking. Oh yeah, with the Ferox, they couldn't have played a pump spell, right? So we were just safe there. I think the play to win line is block here, go to 2. Oh, do they have a pump spell and they just forgot about Ferox last turn? That's totally what happened. They had a pump spell and forgot about Ferox. Deal. Resolves. Listen, we've all been there, chat. Me more than most, because I'm frequently distracted while playing on stream. Like, come on now. We've all done what they just did, which was not pivot when they needed to pivot. Like, I've definitely been there. I think we did that today even. I killed a creature instead of missing lethal, instead of lethaling my opponent during the Pioneer segment. It's still funny, but like, it happens to everyone. Thanks for the 11 months, Fuji. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That's great. All right, so we go tapped. We go deactivate this, Banishing Light. I think their Miss Lethal is going to let us stabilize here, huh? So what's the play here? Is it banishing? I feel like I'm supposed to just do... If I go up to 7, I'm not dead to Questing Beast. I think I just do this and smack them. It might also be right, because I drew this, to like Banishing like this, play second Angel. Could be very possible. Maybe opponents newer, so they definitely should attack with everything. If they would have attacked with these two, I would have been forced to chump block the Lovestruck Beast. So I think my opponent made a bit of a mistake there. And then if they don't rip like another questing beast this turn, the game's pretty over. We're gonna fire this up next turn, gain 5, hit them for 5, and make 2 4/4s. All right, so another creature deck, Baffling End and Seal Away. Maybe I don't want Seal Away against their Questing Beast deck. This is another matchup where the Teferis aren't good. I think we just turned into a black-white deck with an Aether Gust here. What do we think of that? Seal Away and Baffling End are probably fine, even though they don't tag. This tags Nullhide Ferox at least. Maybe Baffling End's not very good here. It dodges QB and Nullhide Ferox. I don't think this is a counterspell matchup. We're frequently going to be tapping out here. Like, if you look back at that first game and think about how much we tapped out, we can't hold this card up efficiently. Yeah, they're probably on Steel Leaf Champion too. Yeah, Baffling End is worth having in. Yeah, Marty, I'll take the Breach deck. The few of you talking about it, it sounds reasonable. Sounds different. It looks like the style of deck that people who like to play non-rotating formats like to find their way into. I think 3-mana Teferi is pretty bad against their Questing Beast deck. Not only does Questing Beast kill 3-mana Teferi, but it also has haste, so it's not good to bounce it. Like, behind me in my camera is a giant shelf full of board games. Does anybody have we were talking about it earlier, does anybody have the link offhand still to the Theros Gods background? I want to tag the artist in a question. I think they were on there. Perfect. Y'all are great. Yeah, that's true. We should make a command. Two drop here is a great draw. I'm just gonna go ahead and Banishing Light the Steel Leaf Champion. This holds their smaller dorks at bay for now. No reason to hold up Settle. Just waiting on some angels. Yeah, it's real good. For people that didn't see it earlier, it's stunning. Makes a good desktop background. Hey, the Unnamed. I'm gonna credit the Unnamed with that draw. We appreciate your service, the Unnamed. I wanted to tag the artist and ask them if they would put it up on display. I would. When we build out my new studio, I'm looking to have up on the wall behind me some displays and other things. That would be a sick one to have up there on rotation. I'm gonna take 9 here and just settle the wreckage these next turn, I think. Yeah, they're supposed to give me a final quote, but I found someone that has fairly good reviews. They're a little bit on the high side price-wise, but they have had a lot of good recommendations for them, so I think I'm going to have them do the work if their presentation looks good. We're going to, like, go all out. I'm excited. Christy greenlighted me to spend a pile of money on it, so hopefully y'all keep me doing this as my job for a little while so I can get, 3, 4, 5 years out of the stream room after we pour some money into it.
We're gonna tear you apart.
So we get 3 1/1s here, thanks to Bishop of Wings. And then they're down to 1 card in hand here. So if I get to settle their 2 big threats, I get to kill Vivian with the flying creatures. Like, gonna be in a pretty good spot. Well played. I think we still 1 for 1 here. Yeah, and like Christy and I just moved into this house at the beginning of the year. It's gonna be, we plan to stay here at the very least until the kids are grown and gone. Nah, I think not attack a questing beast is just smart. Settle the Wreckage is very much a card that sees a lot of play in this format. Yeah, just expensive Path to Exile here. Nah, I don't think so. Wait. I think I want to just use my mana efficiently there. Thinking about your kids moving out gets you seriously depressed. I mean, that's just a natural part of life. I like my kids, they're great, but someday they will be functional adults, hopefully, and leave. What do you think is the minimum amount of subs that you need, that if you had less than that amount, this would not be worth it? Christy and I actually were just talking about budget stuff. The metric for me personally that makes this like the job number is 1,500 concurrent subscribers. The amount that makes sense to do this as a job as opposed to like doing software dev or teaching or other stuff is about 1,500 concurrents. As a frame of reference, as of right now, I currently have 2,771 concurrent subscribers. So we're well above that threshold. Spot removal spell is a good draw here. Feels like they have a pump spell that keeps pausing to give them priority. I do enjoy this job. It's fun. I also, like, to the credit though, like, I do also enjoy doing software dev stuff. Like when I worked in corporate America, it was work that I enjoyed. Make a giant growth tier. Yep. I think I just do this. Maybe this is wrong. Lyra into Shalai here should hopefully lock this up. I appreciate how you treat it like a job with schedules, easily accessible content information that you stick to what you say you're going to do. It's why you get my Bezo bucks every month. Thanks, Kennick. I feel like that's the least I can do, right? Like, y'all allow this to be my job, so I might as well treat it like one. This attack seems real loose, right? Like... This game's over, right? We're done here. Least you could do is a private Snapchat. I'm following mostly on YouTube now because of work hours, but I came in to say you're great and I'm definitely buying your stuff. Well, thanks for the two-thirds of a year, Talvik. I appreciate you keeping up the sub, even if you're mostly watching on YouTube. Welcome back. A private Snapchat of you shuffling cards. Oh yeah, it's videos of me taking the Invisalign out. I hide the camera on screen, but I still record it. You watch me take my teeth in and out. That's what you want to see, right? Any plans for merch? I have a small selection of merch stuff up. I also have some tokens and pins that aren't listed on there. Do you ever get surprised at how much support you get in spite of how poorly Wizards treat you? I mean, like, to be fair, I think part of the reason why I get the support I get is also for some of the same reasons why Wizards of the Coast doesn't work with me. Like, I think the way I'm genuine and transparent in what I do goes a long way towards people being like, yeah, just the content I want to watch. Yeah, feel free to share them in the subs Discord, Beansy. I posted mine in there, but I don't know. It's just random in-game stuff. I think I'm just replaying this again. This is still not flipping for a little bit. Maybe it might be right to just banishing like this. I also don't show garbage, that's true. I turned down lots of mobile game sponsorships because a lot of them are bad. That's true, we do talk about garbage time. I also think there's something to be said, like, something that applies to game design and just kind of life in general is like, Mark Rosewater was quoted in one of his game design talks where it's better to make something that some people love and some people hate as opposed to making something that everybody just kind of likes. And I think that definitely applies to me. I think a lot of people who know who I am, if you ask them their opinion of me, you're probably going to find a lot of polarization in both directions. There aren't probably too many people out there like, yeah, just fine, whatever. There's a 100% chance we draw another blue-white land. That is exactly how this works. Wait, did they just field me into a black source? They don't know I have a third color, chat. I actually really like it, even one. I think you need to enjoy a particular type of game to enjoy it, but I think if you like grindy RPG games, it's a fine grindy RPG game. I've actually been playing a ton of it. That's hexproof, right? Yeah, we're super dead. I don't think that's strictly true though, Otter. I think the actual answer is that like it's not even so much that the criticism I give that they don't want to work with me about, so much as like there's in crowds. Like if you look at the people that consistently get invited to things, like Wizards loops through a lot of the same groups of people with invitations that they give to things. So, as is often the case, it's not what you know in life, it's who you know and who likes you. Goes a really long way. I guess Bishop of Wings gives me some insulation against... I probably don't want Banishing Light against their Teferi deck, actually. Just keep my threats up. I don't know that their player base can support that, Zajad. Like, I think there's a chance they can't rescind an invite. No, I just don't get invites to begin with, Dr. Jezen. And knowing people who work there and knowing people who, like, know people that work there as well and talk to them, like, there's a shit list and I'm on it. At some point, I did something or said something that got me on the crap list, and there's plenty of people that aren't on the crap list. It is what it is. Correct. Yeah, you have to be like Tolarian Community College large to be like on the crap list and still get stuff on occasion. Like TCC is like literally bigger than their stuff is, right? No, I don't bother, Fearburger. My time's worth more than that. That's a great draw. Yes, no, yeah, I was just about to say, no, they love Tolarian Community College, the guy that constantly calls them out on their products not being worth buying. That's something they love. What made TCC so popular? He just did good on, he's just a good, genuine content creator. He does product reviews and he's honest about them. You can know when you're getting a review from him, he's not bought and paid for. You know that he's giving you his genuine thoughts on it, and he's not being paid to show something that's bad. He's not even the OG Magic YouTuber Beefster. He's been doing it for a while at this point, but there are definitely people that predate him. Because depending on what I draw could dictate what land I want to play. And it also just didn't really matter. My life total doesn't matter in this matchup. Thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub, MX Flounder. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. OG means original. Yeah, our life total is irrelevant here. Is exactly correct. Thanks, Marty. I appreciate you. Many Magic the Gathering players ask, is Bone Crusher ready? Yeah, the fact that people would even think that Tolarian's a WotC shill just like really goes to show you that people just want to like crap on people they don't like. So I'm missing blue mana here, but I think that's fine. Tithe Taker's probably one of our better cards in this matchup. I guess this kind of turns into a slow blue source, huh? Calling TCC a Watsy shill is the equivalent to calling Moe's a good place to eat a burrito. Nothing could be further from the truth. TCC is Tulare Community College. He is the largest Magic the Gathering YouTuber. His YouTube channel has more subscribers than the official Magic channel does. Oh, Island's actually a great draw, because now I can Tithe Taker plus Hold Stroke here, which is great. Now, something that's important to note. Tithe Taker does not increase the converted mana cost here. So if they absorb, I cannot stroke their absorb. So even though they paid 4 mana for this, the converted mana cost on this card is still 3. So this does not make this strokeable. Yeah, definitely, Zer. Feel free, link away. Link away. Play a Teferi. Play a Teferi. Rats. Sure. Which is that, opposition? So I get to GM Shalai here, and then if they counter her, Sorin is more likely to resolve. Come seal away, come seal away, come seal away with me. All right, and now that they don't have Absorb up, I'm just gonna jam Sorin. Ah, noted. Yeah, little details like that are good to know. I haven't had any, Flavia. So I'm gonna poke the person that makes the Stream Decker add-on, that's the deck overlay. They said they've been working on something that might be useful to me, and if not, they're gonna help me put the other thing through Twitch. So I have to set some time aside to work on that because the Deckmaster person just isn't responding. So they countered my Shalai, but I have Sorin on 4, so Sorin's eventually gonna get her back in 2 turns. All while Tithe Taker is beating down. And then any big plays they might have, I'm just holding this Disdainful Stroke here for. So feel like we're in a pretty good spot overall currently. No, we were just talking about that, Doof Monster. Tithe Taker does not change the converted mana cost of spells. The only time the converted mana cost on a spell is not the number that's printed in the corner, is when you have an X spell being cast. I'm just gonna let this happen. It takes some of my pressure off the table, but like I have Sorin, so it's like not too big of a deal. Get my Tithe Taker back. This is a good draw. And then next turn, I can grab Resplendent Angel and still have this live, which is great. Yeah, this is still fine. It's like annoying, but I think I want to save this stroke for countering a one of their threats. Now, if they have another sweeper, I'll probably stroke a third sweeper at this point. Just because my board's really powerful and has them dead in 2, and the odds they have a 5th sweeper or 4th sweeper are low. This pumps out extra angel tokens every turn, which is great. Goodbye, Felicia. Really rewarded for being patient with the stroke there. Just correctly identifying that we had enough pressure even if they were sweeping the board. That was a good set. The control matchup was something I was worried about looking at this deck, just because, like, being slightly bigger is usually better, and control is definitely slightly bigger than we are. I'm going to lead on Fabled Passage here, since I don't have a 4th land guaranteed. We'll fetch plains with this. Tapped land, Swamp can Mortify on 3 then. Yeah, Sorin was very good there. I agree. So, would have liked to draw a 2-drop there, but 4th land is also decent because it means I get to go 3, 4, 4, 4. I'm just going to go ahead and kill their Death Toucher here. Does this deck seem like a deck or just a pile of cards? I mean, mid-range decks are always kind of just piles of cards, right? Just like, these are a bunch of cards that, like, have good rates. I guess there's some synergy aspect to this deck, which is reasonable. Maybe I shouldn't have killed that. I think I need to Banishing Light and take Crypt Breaker out of play here. This is one of the direct to historic cards they added. This lets them draw a bunch of cards if I leave it in play. So, like, even though an angel would come down and stabilize the board, they'd sit there and draw while the board is stabilized, which doesn't seem great for us. Lead on Seraph here, so that way, if they kill it, I can still have some chump blockers left over to trade off with their stuff. Yep, Rider is also a zombie. Zombie Knight, 2 relevant creature types here. Easy double block on the Ghoul, I think. Oh, wow. Are the direct to historic cards not in the overlay either? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yikes. Yeah, alright, so I'm gonna do this into this. Maybe I'm supposed to Seraph here, even though it's not mana efficient, just to bait another removal spell. Crypt Breaker is there? Actually, I can look. I have a preview. Yeah, Crypt Breaker's there. Crypt Breaker's showing up. Oh, Mire Triton. Yeah, that's a new card, chat. Mire Triton's not showing up, it's a new card. Alright, I think I lead on Shalai here, because if Lyra sticks, the game is over. So I want to play this out to potentially bait removal, and then we'll have to jam Lyra next turn. Third Murderous Rider's the charm, chat. Do I just play this out? Yeah, I guess if this lives, I still lifelink next turn, huh? So I should just lead on this. So this way, if they have a Doomblade, I'm okay still. Gosh, if I draw an untapped land this turn, I get to play Lyra attack with this with Vigilance. I think I still attack. If they draw a removal spell, they're only attacking for 7, which means I'm not dead. And if they don't have a removal spell, they're infinitely far behind. Like, next turn I'm attacking for 10 in the air, plus deploying another Seraph. Okay, that's cute. I mean, they're going to get to draw a lot of cards with Crypt Breaker here. Yeah, if the Stream Decker person has, or the Deckmaster person hasn't responded to me, I'm going to be doing some type of work to get an overlay enabled. I don't have an exact timeline, unfortunately, because it's not a trivial amount of work. Also, if I put my own extension up, I have to wait for Twitch to approve my extension. Although, hopefully, I can talk to my Twitch rep and get that pushed through quickly. No, they haven't. They literally just haven't responded. I reached out to them on Discord. I reached out to them on Twitter. Have a good one, Striker. Just actual radio silence on all fronts. Very, very frustrating. Like, I understand, like, I don't have time to maintain this and I don't want to give it to you. Like, but just, like, straight up ignoring is real rude. And, like, even if they kill this Lyra here, I'm at 18 now. I, like, have another Lyra in my hand. I guess they could technically lifelink with Murderous Rider here, but they're just, like, not winning the game at that point, huh? Serioid, thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, to use Cardboard Live, I'd have to reinstall my entire computer operating system and reconfigure everything. And at that point, that's going to take me an entire day. So I'd rather just, like, spend that day forking and maintaining my own project. It's going to take a day of my life anyways. Thanks for the 8 months, Pile of Gore. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Looks like another cheap removal plus Settle the Wreckage in matchup. Mortify's probably good too. I think we're just like, I think against these creature decks, we're mostly just a black-white deck. Black-white cards are good here. The blue cards are mostly good against things like Nexus and Control. So, Arena doesn't run in a Windows VM. Arena runs via Wine. Running, I know Arena's not super graphically intensive, but running 3D applications doesn't really work inside of a virtual machine. You have to virtualize graphics acceleration, which is incredibly difficult and slow. Deckmaster's open source, and it's written in, it's largely JavaScript and Electron Vue, I believe. So, assuming the Stream Decker person can't help me, I have to go through the Deckmaster source code and figure out how to put my own server up for it, like what I need to run from there to have my own server work, and like what things I need to change from the client side to communicate to my server instead of theirs. One of the subs actually helped me fork the code base and get it to compile on Linux, because all the tools are open source and compile on Linux. And they added an environment variable so I could point it to where my log file was. Hey, Southern Man Gaming. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Resplendent Angel's a good draw. Just get to curve right on out here. I guess the question is, do I play a blocker and then get hit by removal again? Maybe it's better to do this. So this way, if they have a removal spell, they can't hit me for 5 again. And then next turn, I get to go Bishop plus Baffling End the Graveyard Marshal. You give them a free deck submission, who? I mean, like, I've even, and for people, too, like, I've literally offered to pay the person for their work, too, and they just don't want my money. Like, I know people don't want to work for free, and I don't expect people to work for free. Just take my money and help me. Please take my dollars. All right, so I think I just drop Seraph here. And then next turn, hopefully we can draw a land and do this. The socialism's coming for your money, Anarok. It's honestly the most frustrating thing about the 2020 election is the people that don't understand how much money they would save with Medicare for All. That as a math teacher, it just reminds me of the frustrations of teaching where people just don't get it, where you just like lay it all out and they just don't understand how the numbers work. Just like, this is cheaper and it's better for more people. I think Wizards not giving specific timelines is actually a net positive, because giving specific timelines means that releases get rushed to meet those timelines, which often ends up with lower quality products. Thanks to 11 months straight money. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I actually greatly prefer it's ready when it's ready release cycle. That's true. Most people don't understand what marginal taxes is. I can't tell you the number of times I heard growing up, I don't want to take that raise because it'll put me into the next tax bracket and that'll lose me money overall. And just like, as a kid, I was just kind of like, you just don't even think about it. And then like, as an adult, it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's unreal that people were that stupid. Like those are actual words I heard adults say growing up. Family members. Like, it's unreal how dumb they are. They just don't. It's like, why do you think your boss takes a bigger paycheck than you? Why do you think that is? Thanks for the 22 months, Waffle. Waterproof phone is a game changer. Watching Twitch in the shower is a massive quality of life improvement. Ooh. I work in IT, the Venn diagram of people who forget they even had a password and people who think national healthcare is bad as a circle. Maybe. Yeah, I agree, Dallas. It's just one of those things. It's the Republican GOP base is kept largely complacent and kept in check by things that sound like they make sense on the surface, but when you peel them back and actually make an effort to understand them, you realize it's nonsense. Cinnabar, thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Because, like, at a quick glance, because it's technically correct, but you're drawing the wrong conclusion, right? Like, yes, you will go into a new tax bracket if you make more money sometimes, but you don't actually take less home the way marginal tax brackets work. So you take a small piece of the truth and then you mix in a lie, and the lie sounds reasonable because there was a piece of truth delivered with it. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this hand. Keeping a 2-lander on the play, we're pretty unlikely to hit our 3rd land drop. I think we're supposed to play catch and release. This hand at least has 2 white sources to cast this, so I think this one's a keeper. Yes, the best lies are those that are somewhat true. Completely agree. Most effective lies. That's true. Most effective. Perfect. Just like we drew it up. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The best is not a good descriptor for lying. Effective is, I agree with you, that vernacular is better. More in Robin. You still have to pay 1,000 gold to play in the historic events. It's really not a big deal. You have to go 2 and 2 to break even. So unless you're playing absolute dumpster fires, it's really not that big of a deal. Yeah, I agree, Invictius. As someone who taught finite math, which included topics like simple interest, to college freshmen who couldn't calculate interest correctly, financial literacy is a tough one. We actually beat blue-white control pretty handily, Marty. I was expecting the control matchup for this deck to be hard, but I was surprised. The blue cards really came in clutch. Do I eat veggie dogs and veggie burgers? Yeah, depending on what the brand are. The quality, consistency, and flavor of vegetable meat substitutes can vary because they can be made with a lot of different bases. There's like bean-based burgers and potato-based burgers, and now there's the variety of like Beyond Meat, synthetic meat type substitute type things. We're gonna get like swept here probably. The Impossible Burger's okay. I don't mind it at all. That's fine. Burger King has Impossible Whoppers. So you can literally get Impossible meats at every Burger King. Which, they're actually very reasonable for being Burger King. I think we're dead here. Pretty well ground out. To someone who asks, no, we haven't lost yet. You're a 4-0 in this set. My sister is financially illiterate and asked me for investing help. I told her an IRA is a magic place that takes your money and transforms it into more money. Yes, I don't know a lot about investing, but I do know that step 1 is put money into a Roth IRA to start. I did enough Googling and feel like I can confidently say that's step 1. No, none of the things that are branded as tasting like meat actually really taste like meat. Chat, come on. They get variations of close, but I don't know. I know for Christy and I, at least, we're just taking our extra money and putting it into our house for now. Because, like, I think our mortgage interest rate is, like, 4.5 or 4.75. It was high at the start of last year when we moved in. I'm, like, trying to beat more than 5%. in the markets can be. Not as guaranteed. You have to be more risky. I think even the money we have in Roths over like the last 3 years is only averaged like 5.5%. I put all my money in a sweet MLM setup. If I can get 5 more people and I get my money back, sick deal. Use the Google Forms for my D&D players, so I generally only get about 5 to 8 responses. I was curious how many responses you get on your typical sub-surveys. Usually between 500 and 1,000 responses. When we did the emergency sub-survey when standard was real bad, that was our peak response rate. We had a little over 1,000, I believe. Gonna pass here rather than playing into a counter spell. Hopefully they don't have a removal spell. Feels bad, man. I've chosen to invest heavily in foils, not sure what my rate of return is, but my decks look sweet. Listen, I know you're jesting, but there are a lot of people out there who genuinely think that the money they're putting into Magic cards is their investment engine. I knew a guy who cashed out his Roth IRA to buy a set of black bordered power. All right, so our scoreboard's at 40. That means we're winning, right, chat? Johnny's live. Bishop of Wings has actually been really good. I bought a box of Unstable and have seen an 8% annual return after accounting to resell. Joke's on you, opponent. I don't have thoughts to erase. Get out of here. Oh, that's a good draw. Please play a Doomblade. Please play a Doomblade. Please play a Doomblade. Rats. Rats. And if they wrath the board, we get to get 4 1/1s from our 2 angels dying. Definitely not low. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate it. How do we sideboard for this match? We cut the Banishing Lights and the Baffling Ends and the Settle the Wreckage, and we boarded in our counter spells. So pumping the angel requires 6 mana, chat. So if I tried to pump the angel, I wouldn't be able to, They're dead next turn, though. They're dead to God's willing. Oh, Teferi would have done it too, yeah. Yeah, I should have just kept the Teferi, right? Because it would have forced them to tap. They keep pausing like they're getting priority. Do they have like a disfigure here? Nope, just dead. Sweet. Oh, it's pausing to discard the Trawler. That makes sense. That makes sense. It's pausing to discard the Trawler. Right? That's how that card works. Turn 2 Tithe Taker, turn 3 Teferi is a good curve here. Tithe Taker does tax Trawler. You're not wrong. It's been really good, Alkalal. This is our second control matchup. I've been impressed so far with how this deck has felt in the control matchup. I wasn't expecting it to be very good, and it's been very reasonable. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw a card with this right away, because they're likely to need to take this off the table so their counter spells can work, and I just want to like cash it in. Our Afterlife creatures and Bishop of Wings has given us a lot of good resilience to sweepers, which has felt good. Am I actually looking for more sponsors, or is that a running joke? Well, I mean, I'm always down for a good hustle. Every day we hustle in. Boop 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 boop. You never pass on a good opportunity, chat. At the rate at which I turn down potential sponsors, yes, I'm always looking. There's a lot of people out there looking to advertise products that aren't great. Which is why, for example, when Grimoire Deck Boxes messaged me, I was like, I need to get a copy of my hands on your product so I can see if they're really good deck boxes. And they are sweet, good quality deck boxes with great artwork. Check out my link, bit.ly/Hooglebox. Any of the sponsors I line up personally are things that I vet. I'm like, hey, you gotta send me a thing. The stealth shell, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could. So I didn't jam Teferi because it could have been a 5-mana absorb there. No, that one's up for a while. Taco, you're good. Okay, yep. Yep, so they did this. Hopefully they don't have Mystic Dispute. If they don't have Mystic Dispute, we're in a pretty good spot.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
How much to get? These people are great. Buy their stuff tattooed on your back. I don't have any tattoos, so probably a high number. Permanent body defacement is a tall order.
We need to move quickly.
$2,000? I don't know, man. We got almost $2,000 for pink hair, and that's temporary. I feel like permanent body defacement is like gotta be into the 5 figures. It's gotta be a good chunk. Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be into the 5 digits. I'm also like, chat, I'm like a flabby wimp as well. Tattoos are painful, right? Why do you want to hurt me, chat? Why do you want to hurt me? TBF, I only I want to hurt you. I don't know that we can beat this Dream Trawler. I guess I have a lot of flying blockers. I guess this Teferi could emblem too. Maybe we do have a shot. I could start mortifying this thing to empty cards out of their hand. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Post mana leak land drop of shame. 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 Okay, so they protect this, but it's still a 1-for-1, right? They still spent a card to answer my Mortify. And now they're down to 1 card in hand. So if I draw a Mortify next turn, I can tuck this and then Mortify it in response. Or we could draw another blank. You know, that works too. Oh, feels magic, man. Feels magic, man. If I use the castle, I'm out of black mana. Yeah, if that Seraph had resolved, we'd be in a pretty good spot. Wasn't Thassa's intervention wasn't on the list of cards I was thinking about playing around there, and it definitely should have been. Get out of here. Okay, so I can field them, get my swamp, draw a card. Any cost, chat. Any costs. Come on, spells, please. Feels magic, man. Yep. Hey, Mason, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. At least we went out on our own terms, huh? You know? At least we went out on our own terms. All things considered, this deck fell. To start, we had a pretty good run there. I do think we had pretty good matchups as well, though. So we went 4-1 overall. Got some gold and some gems and some random vault progress. Thoughts. I definitely think a card. So I did add some Banishing Lights to this deck, which were fine. I do think that Elspeth Conquers Death is almost certainly a card I want some copies of in here. This was a card from the new set that slipped my mind, and I was quickly doing updates to this the other night. Corel, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Maybe trim a Banishing Light and get that in the main. Maybe fit a second into the sideboard. Good quality removal, as well as ways to get back our bigger threats that are really good. So I think I would consider it. Got another copy of that somewhere. Sorin was actually really sweet. The blue-white control deck that we beat, we definitely beat on the back of Sorin, so I could maybe see some of that. I don't know. If you're looking for a deck that can beat up on the aggressively slanted decks, like we beat a mono green aggro deck, we beat zombies, and I feel like, we beat red-white knight aggro in a really good set in the first match. So I think those types of small creature aggro decks are definitely the ones we're looking to beat. Our 1/4s and our life gain are just really, really good in spots like that. All right, coming up next, we've got a take on red-black mid-range here, featuring Kroxa from the latest set, as well as some Phyrexian arenas from the direct-to-historic cards. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I restart the client to get set up for this next one. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out today. Don't go anywhere. It is a relatively tight curve. I agree. It's a box, not a curve. I mean, if you imagine this Bone Crusher Giant is like a 2 and a 3, it's like 2s, 3s, 4s. It's the exact same deck as Red Black Mirror in Standard, except with Rekindling Phoenix instead of the new 4-mana Giant. We've got Arena too, but yeah, very, very close to the Standard deck that we've played, for sure. This format is definitely Standard Plus at the moment. It'll be interesting to see how the format develops a little bit more, I think, especially once we get the next rotation in the fall. Not only will we get a rotation in the fall, but we'll have like 80 direct to historic cards at that point. So I think once there's 8 sets that are historic legal that aren't standard legal, we'll have a lot more definition and uniqueness to this format compared to standard, which I think will be a good thing. I think it'll probably increase the popularity of it a little bit. Next historic anthology is supposed to be coming sometime early March, about halfway between set releases. Yeah, I agree. Anthologies should be some good injections. Oh, I should restart this client. Almost forgot. These people are great. Buy their stuff. I believe they come at the same time they decide on suspensions, but I don't know for sure on that. Yeah, I can pull a list for that or put one together myself. Alkalo, noted. Can start with Olive Shell and go from there.